In this demonstration, you'll learn how to use the Apollos Bible. Like all of our forms, the Apollos Bible has a large accordion and a small accordion off to the right. In the first panel, you'll have the opportunity to look at a single paragraph from the Bible. In the multiple text view, you can look at up to 4 separate paragraphs side by side. And there's also a settings pane that you can use to vary your display. Now let's go back and select a paragraph from the text view. Acts 1. As soon as you enter 6 letters into the text box, it'll begin to generate a list of paragraphs. We're looking now at all of the paragraphs that begin with Acts 1. So that'll be Acts 1, Acts 10, Acts 11, and so on. The more letters you enter, the more precise the list. So we add a colon, and now we're just looking at Acts chapter 1. So let's select Acts chapter 1. Okay, so what about a longer book, say 1 Thessalonians? The abbreviation for 1 Thessalonians is 1 space THESS. We follow the standard abbreviations as set forth by the Society of Biblical Literature. But what if you don't know the abbreviation? Well, you can select the book icon here, and when you do, you'll see 2 text boxes and a drop-down list. Type a minimum of 2 letters into this first text box and it will generate a list. Now we select 1 Thessalonians and we see the proper abbreviation. From the select text box drop-down list, let's select number 1. Now we see 1 Thess in this first text box. If you select 2, 3, 4, or 5, you'll get one of these paragraphs. Now that we have a proper abbreviation in there, let's add a 1, and we've got a list of the paragraphs in 1 Thessalonians chapter 1. Let's select 1 Thessalonians 1, 2 through 10. The text we use is the New Revised Standard Version of the Bible. The paragraph divisions follow the Nestle-Aland Greek text. You can see that the paragraph is broken down clause by clause. Now let's go down to the display settings and select from the second text box. You see that it says English. That means the English text is being displayed. If we select Greek, then now we're looking at the Greek text of 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 verses 2 through 10. My personal favorite setting is the interlinear. So now you see the Greek text followed by the English text, clause by clause, all the way through the paragraph. Now we recognize that most of our users will not know Greek, so we'll go back to the English display. The next thing we want to do is to select a clause from this paragraph. We'll select the first clause in verse 2 and notice that there's a checkbox to the right. That means that you or someone in your social network has written a note that is related to this verse. So we select it and the box turns green. You'll also notice that the clause details pane on the small accordion is populated with 1 Thessalonians 1, 2a. Only in this case there are 2 list boxes, a Greek list box and an English list box. If you select a word from the Greek list box, the corresponding word in the English list box is also selected. And if you select an English word, then the corresponding Greek word is selected. Once that Greek word is selected, then you can move down the page and you see the Greek phrase, Eucharistumen Pantate, and the English translation, we always give thanks. You see the definition of the word with pronunciation, Eucharisteo, number of occurrences, part of speech, and a brief definition. You also see the morphology of the particular word that occurs here. This is a present, active, indicative, first person plural. And the next list box is from My Social Network. You see all the examples in your social network of notes related to the Greek word Eucharisteo. Down below that is another list box that is related specifically to 1 Thessalonians 1, chapter 2a.